Now the Sil Lum Tao Form, while it's not very exciting looking, inside of it is a great deal of information and a lot going on in your system while you practice it. Now today we're going to come to the end of what we call the first section of the Wing Chun Sil Lum Tao Form. So stick around and we'll get right to that. Sil Lum Tao Form may be the most important form in the Wing Chun system. I believe it has a lot of information in there. In fact, I look at it as an encyclopedia of Wing Chun movements. It defines the center line, the hand positions, and the elbow position. It teaches you how to generate power in a short distance as you're punching. Now again, the form, while it's not very flashy, I mean you're standing in one spot the entire time. Standing in the one spot allows you to focus on your hand movements and hand positions. This allows you the beginning of understanding of certain concepts in the Wing Chun system. Remaining in that stance through the whole form allows you to basically learn the stance structure, feel the body feel of the stance structure, and your correct use of your energy. Sil Lum Tao Form can be viewed as having three sections now. Like I mentioned, we're going to come to the end of the first section in this video. And we've already covered some of the opening moves and some applications. The first part of this form is referred to as Gung Lik. The next part of the form is pretty much just the center line punch. But when you do this part in the form, bring your fist to the center and shoot it straight out. Okay, so the reason for that is, of course, in this form we're learning about the center line, we're learning about the system, learning about the techniques. But this is not for nothing. And so Brock's going to punch me in the chest here, say, and I'm going to use that first move to block it, take over his center line, and shoot it straight in. Okay? So just explaining again, into the center line is basically taking that fist off the center, and you taking over and striking. Here we go, blocking. And always remember to maintain that contact. You see, I'm going to slide up his arm, and again, keeping control of his elbow with mine. Now, the Gung Lik training is development of the fixed elbow position, training the correct angle of the forearm, for example, in the Tan Sao position, so that any force that you meet will be redirected along the forearm, through the elbow into the upper arm, and actually down through your body and into your feet. You've heard of the term being grounded. Practicing this form will definitely give you your grounding. And in fact, if you do any yoga, understanding of any of the chakras, it will help to balance your lower chakras. You'll also notice that your stance looks like the Eiffel Tower. Now, this is not a coincidence. It's a very stable structure. Now, when you're performing this form, you must be relaxed. And this section of the form must be performed quite slowly. So the next section of the form is meant to be done slow as you want, and very meditatively. You know, remember, this form is to develop your skill, your technique, but also has health qualities, improves your breathing, and helps you with your chi flow. So from here, our first move is into this, moving the hand into the center and coming straight out with the Tan Sao position. Now circling Hun Sao, Jump Sao, bring your hand back into Wu Sao. Sao. Done 3 times. And after the third one, you do Dak Sao, Hand Sao, and a vertical fist. Palm up, palm down, fist, and retrap. Same done to the other side. As I mentioned, this section can be done in a very slow pace, very meditatively. When I'm doing it in a class, since I don't want to take up the whole class doing this one form one time, what I'll do is take a nice breath in, and on out breath, in breath, out breath. Now, Fu Sao is a very gentle draping of the hand over the opponent's hand. Now, your fingers shouldn't be clenched or in any funny position. One way to explain it is close your hand in a fashion where, as if you had a butterfly cupped in your hand and you didn't want it to escape, but you didn't want to hurt it either. Yeah. So, Fu Sao. You're doing it again. Elbow more centered. Okay, now, so if you have a mirror, it's obviously going to be very helpful. I want you to find your center line. Make sure your hands aren't too high or too low. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Some people will take 20 minutes to do just the first section of the form, or light a piece of incense and wait until it's burnt down. That's how long they'll take to do this form. We'll do it in a meditative approach to this section. We get into a meditative state, and it allows you to channel your chi. So part of your focus while it's on your movements and position, you want to give some attention to that lower dantian, center of balance of your body, and it helps you to train movement of chi through the rest of your body and out into your limbs as needed. Now, dantian is that spot just 2 inches below your navel. So practicing the first form, Sil Lum Tao, not only teaches the movements, it also helps you develop your chi and your internal power. So I believe all martial arts forms have some internal strength elements to them. They're not all external. You can't have one without the other. However, you can emphasize one over the other. Now, in our next video, we're going to analyze the Sil Lum Tao further, going into the second section. And as we learn more about the different sections and some of the purposes of the movements, once we're past the first form, then we'll look at the basic movements and have a closer look at application and proper use with an opponent.